Welcome on this wonderful Sunday evening to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch live with myself. We Philly tonight. We have Dino without his disco lights. How's your day been, Dino?
Just normal, quiet Sunday. Nice Sunday meal. A little bit of a war zone, and then coming on. So it's been quite a nice little relaxed day.
Good. Michael, have you been to church?
No. It's been all right. Had a nice bit of leftover Chinese. And I think it's just nice and content in time to get this passionate hour out. I have a feeling by the next hour we'll all be feeling better about yesterday.
Right. Well, talking of a man with passion, the Mad Mistake is with us. Have you had a good day, Terry?
I've had a fantastic day. I can't say what I've been getting up to, but it's been brilliant.
Oh, and if you want to know, all right, answers on a postcard. Oh, they don't do that anymore, do they? Right, don't forget we are live, which means we're available in the live chat if you want to contact us. If you've got any subjects you'd like us to bring up, if we can squeeze them in, we shall do. Already there, we've got to give a shout out to Taffy McAmey was first up. Accrington Stanley Uwaday. Best dancer wins a night out with Billy, apparently. We got to say hello to Graham McAvoy. Thane SAFC is there as well. Richie Diggy, Casey Cameron, Jude, Lauren Kenny, David Spencer, Kieran Gale, Alan Hopper, all on the chat already, and Jeff Holcroft with his new blue spanner. What a day yesterday. Sunderland 3, Accrington Stanley 3 at the Stadium of Light. If anybody's already watched Terry's review video, you'll see he wasn't a happy man. If you haven't seen it already, one of the best videos he's ever done, check it out on his channel. And I think we're going to start with you, Terry. What was the matter with the we got a point? What's the matter with that?
Hey, happy days, they're happy days. Where do we start?
At the beginning.
We finally find a system that works in the 4-3-3 system. We get the three midfielders, which we've been screaming out for ages, all of us want the three midfielders, even Dino, and he can pretend he doesn't, but we do, because we know two by themselves are not good enough. Two by themselves are not good enough. We finally, I don't know how he did it, how he found out he stumbled across the system of 4-3-3, if by magic, we played brilliant against Hull. You know, it's a work in motion. We're getting there slowly. So what do we do next game? Let's just throw the 4-3-3 out of the window, go back to the two mediocre midfielders, and, you know, we are going to score goals because we create a lot of stuff. But now we have no protection in the midfield to help out the two centre-backs, one that slows me granny, and the other one who isn't really a centre-back, who is being found out right now because we haven't got a good centre-back like Dion Sanderson with a bit of pace and a bit of speed to help him out. We leave it wide open at the back. And we just bomb forward every opportunity. Yes, we scored two great goals, a great time. We 2-0 up at half-time. Yes, brilliant. But there's also gaps at the back. And Stanley had the opportunities in the first half to get a couple of goals himself, which they couldn't take. Now, the opportunity there at half-time was to change the system again, bolster up the midfield, shut up shop completely. Doesn't mean you can't go forward, get more goals. It means you just don't leave two at the back for the whole of the second half. And what do? It becomes an absolute joke of a show. The players, you know, some of the players don't give a shit. Some of the players' heads go down. Some of the players are all over the place. And they're not playing with pride. They're not playing with passion. They're not playing, they don't want. For me, some of these players don't even want to get promoted. I think I can sort of excuse one or two players. Denver Humes just came back. The young lad, Sunderland through and through. For me, yesterday, he had a canny game and he'll get better and better. I don't think Gooch, I think Gooch plays with his heart on his sleeve at times, isn't the best, talented footballer in the world, but I do think he tries. Luke O'Nien scored no goal. For me, Luke O'Nien was off it. It was way away from the penalty box. He had every right to head the ball back to the keeper. God knows what the keeper was doing. Mistake. Bit of an error. But he's not really a centre-back. He's going to make the odd mistakes every now and again, and he needs protection around him. So overall, I'm disappointed with Lee Johnson. Disappointed he changed the system from 4-3-3 to 4-2-2-2 or whatever he played. And by the time Ledbetter came on, it was too late. Everyone was all over the place, 6s and 7s. No one knew what was going on. If Ledbetter started from the beginning, it would have been a different kettle of fish because he would have been organised. He would have organised the midfield, organised the defence. It would have been a lot better from the very beginning. But we need to go back to the 4-3-3 against Blackpool. Otherwise, we could see ourselves slipping out of the playoffs altogether. And I just had enough.
Well, just very quickly on the chat, David Spence says, Terry blew his top yesterday. I believe he did. It was a funny one, though, wasn't it? Because when we was watching on the stream, they put the formation up, and they put it up as 4-3-3. Right. I think on the radio they were saying 4-3-2-1 or something like that. I was saying it was 2-2-2-2-2. So, I mean, I get what you're saying about winning formation, and then we played really well against Hull and everything. We were the better team, and so I get what you're saying. Just very quickly,
you just got a stronger midfield. You've just got a stronger core, and our core's been ripped to bits all season.
Right. Josh on the chat says, what happened to the 3-man panel? Well, it was something we tried last week, and we was for inviting people on, but we didn't get as many people wanting to come on as we thought. So we sort of we've ditched it, and we're back to 4. But if you want one of us to go, I can either. There you go. Is that better for you? He's back. He's back. Oh, we've changed him all around now. Right then, Dino, Sunderland 3, Accrington Stanley 3. We didn't get beat, did we?
It feels like a defeat because of the position we're in. You should never bottle 2-0 leads. I thought the team selection was I was a bit miffed at it. I was a bit puzzled. I was like, Jordan Jones not playing. He's changed the formation. I was a bit thingy, but there's no excuse to say that team wasn't good enough to win that game, because that team was good enough. It's as simple as that. If you say that team's not good enough to win that game, and you're just blaming it all on two changes in a formation change, well, I don't know what to say. If that's what you believe, at the end of the day, them players are good enough. We took the 2-0 lead, 12 minutes in, we're 2-0 up. And there's no, for me, the players bottled it. It's got nothing to do with Lee Johnson that we drew that game. It was player mistakes and players bottling it. I mean, you cannot stop Luke O'Nien heading it into his own goal. Yeah, there's a bit of a communication error, but that's not Lee Johnson's fault. That's Luke O'Nien and Lee Burgess' fault for not communicating. The ball's just been humped up, and Luke O'Nien's got his eyes on the ball, and he's obviously made the decision, I'm heading it back straight to the keeper. But I think Lee Burgess thought he's not going to make that because he's stretching. I think he was always stretching to get the ball. So he's waiting for Luke O'Nien to probably miss his head, and then Lee Burgess can collect it. And Luke O'Nien's got his head to it and just went in. What? Right.
Well, we are going to come on to that in a bit. So we'll delve a bit more into that. Terry, are you waving at me or do you want in?
Dean, let me ask you a question. If you're the manager, right, and you say you have 2 players who score a goal each in one match, do you drop them for the next match because they've scored a goal each?
Well, no. In my opinion, no. But are you telling me that team wasn't good enough to win that game, regardless of who was playing and who wasn't?
Apparently, I understand you got some of the best players back yesterday. And to be fair, I've had no belief in our midfield all season with 2 in the midfield. I've said it for Umpty. I've said it all season. 2 in the midfield is weak as piss, regardless which 2 it is at this moment in time.
Well, the thing is, Terry, it wasn't the midfield battle we lost. It was the stupid mistakes. It was just a hump ball up. I mean, their first goal, I think it was a humped up. Dion Charles brought it down, and he played a split and pass between Luke O'Nien and his player, and their player got in the end of it and put it through Lee Burgess' feet. I mean, you can say it's bad defending, but you said, we scored 2 cracking goals. But why is it not different? Why is it different when we concede? It's bad defending. Why is it not a good goal for them? And then the free kick, I mean, Aidan McGeady gave away a stupid free kick. No need to bring him down. And let's be fair, that free kick was top notch. Like, it was right in the top corner, barring in. But we shouldn't be giving free kicks like that in the first place. The player was going nowhere, and McGeady's gave away a stupid free kick. People can say, yeah, it was soft, but don't put your foot in to make him go down. Just stand him up. You don't need to, like, bulldoze him over or stick a foot in. Just stand him up, make him go sideways. But no, we'll give away the free kick, and he puts it in the top corner after we scored a goal with max power. For me, it was just player mistakes and the players bottling it, in my opinion.
Right, fair enough. Just very quickly on the chat, Jeff Allcroft says, glad Terry has made it today. He was obviously concerned for you yesterday. Shout out to Miggy Stewart, who came to watch us at the football last week. Rough as a Badger's there as well. Josh says, Terry is an absolute lady magnet. David Spencer says, we threw it away. So, Michael, why are you laughing at Terry being a lady magnet?
I'm just laughing at the passion of what's been said so far. I'm just okay. Casually just sitting here and enjoying it.
That's fair enough. All right. Well, anyway, talking of lady magnets, let's go to the man himself, Super Sexy Bowers. What did he think of yesterday? 3-3.
Well, you know what? The best bit of it was nothing even to do with the game. The best bit, I looked at the stream back, and at the very end of the stream, I put my earphones on the table, walked over, and then just said to my dog that we were not so very good, and I saw Dino found that funny. That was probably the best bit of the whole thing, and it wasn't even to do with the game. I needed to laugh after that. Do I have to talk about the game? I agree with what Dino said. I think that you can talk about the formations and the system changes all you want, but the fact of the matter is that side was 2-0 up at half-time against an Accrington side that does concede a lot of chances and concedes a lot of goals. And although I think I thought we were uncomfortable first half, I felt Accrington had a couple of half chances on the break, but maybe one decent chance they had. But in general, I thought Sunderland did win the battles. I thought that, I know Terry's probably going to hate me for saying this, I thought Josh Scowen was very good in the first half. I thought he was winning, that he was doing a lot of the ugly stuff in the deeper role. I thought he was getting things going forward, and he was getting himself about the pitch a lot. What happened? Where I would say for Lee Johnson, I'd love to know what on earth he said to them at half time. Oh, lads, you just go out and just do the same, lads. It's all right. John Coleman would have given them a rollicking at half time, and we should have expected and anticipated that Accrington, as much as I still believe, and I fully think that team should have been good enough to win, if we're not allowed to expect our players to beat Accrington Stanley at home, then we might as well give up now. There's no point. In my opinion, that game was just simply down to the fact we didn't defend properly again. We didn't keep a clean sheet again, and the first two, Accrington's point of view, our second goal, for example, was pretty poor defending from there. We obviously got lucky with our third. They got lucky with our second. For me, it's a obviously, I know we'll go on to that later, but the fact of the matter is you shouldn't need to score 4 goals to win a game of football. It's as simple as that. Your defence is there to protect the goalkeeper. Your goalkeeper's there to be the last line of defence. We just didn't do our jobs. Second half, for whatever reason, we just gave Accrington, again, far too much respect and let them back into the game. The free kick itself was quality. The third goal, the free kick itself was great. But again, like Dino's alluded to, you don't give away a stupid foul near the edge of your own box when you've just retook the lead, because you might as well not even bother doing that then. I don't know. From 2-0 up, you shouldn't be drawing the game. You shouldn't be not winning the game. And at least, I don't know. We've conceded 10 goals in the last 5 games, 5 in the last 2. If we don't sort our problems out defensively, we've got no hope of winning the playoffs.
Right, Terry, you want in there?
Yeah, ever since Bailey Wright's come back, we've been terrible in defence. Terrible. I mean, Luke O'Nien isn't really a proper defender, but he's doing a good job with a good defender next to him. When you got somebody as slow as Bailey Wright, then you're going to leave. It's going to find out other players who are not really defenders, you know. So we need to either bring in Oliver Younger or somebody in and give a bit of confidence to the young lads. You know, what's the point of keeping Oliver Younger? He's supposed to be I saw him once this season. He looked great. He looked great to me. So I think it's time for a change. We need McLaughlin back so we can put Max Power back in the Ledbetter rule sort of situation. Or we need to get Tom Flanagan back or somebody, because, like I say, at the moment we cannot keep a clean sheet at all. It's just shocking defending.
Right, okay. Just very quickly before we go any further, 152 people watching the live stream. 33 likes. If you just hit the thumbs up, like to try and get to 100 on a Sunday. But more importantly, if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's absolutely free. And we are so close now. We're heading to 6,000 subscribers. Really help the channel if you could do that. If you would subscribe to us, that would be very much appreciated. Just before we go to the chat, I wanted to point out it was in the news today about Andy Holt, the Accrington Stanley chairman, who spoke very highly of our new owners, saying that they were treated as equals, even though, in his words, they're not. And was talking to KLD, his plans for the future, very promising, and he wishes as well. And I thought that was nice that he came up and he felt that, he had to sort of comment on it, how well he was looked after. So hopefully, behind the scenes, it looks like they could be getting things in order and sort of building from the bottom up. So that's a promising sign. Just very quickly, Rough as a Badgers on the chat says, Terry's hair is looking magnificent. May I ask what product he uses? Come on, you're looking a bit dapper. I don't know where you've been today. Oh, look at that. Oh, here we go. All right. Also, why he's going to do his quick advert, his links or whatever what's he got? Where? Oh, shockwaves. There you go. So if you want to look as dapper as Terry, that's what you got to wear. That's what you got to use. Thane says, I disagree with Dino. It's not Johnson's fault for playing 09 at the back. So he doesn't agree with you. But John Bradley says, Thane, who else is he going to play? We've got no centre.
He doesn't agree with us. He's been playing Luke 09 in the defence practically since he's been here. I don't get what Finn's. No offense, Finn.
I think he means that it's Lee Johnson's fault for playing 09 there in the first place. I think that's what he's getting at. I might have interpreted that wrong.
He's been playing there all season.
Oh well, I mean, there's already people coming out and calling for Lee Johnson's head, which is absolutely ridiculous.
I didn't understand that. Do you want Parkinson back? Do you want Parkinson back?
I'd be surprised if anyone on this panel felt the same way about that. I really would. Right. Well, let's go to. I mean, we were saying on the live stream that our goal to go 3-2 up was fortunate because it took a deflection, but of course they were lucky. They got that own goal. Whose fault was it? Luke 09, Lee Birch. It was to blame. Michael, do you want to go first on that?
For me, it's a mixture of both. I've seen a lot of people being very quick to criticise Lee Birch for this, and I do think that it depends. I think a lot of people say it depends whether he communicated to 09 he was coming to get the ball or not. I suppose that's a fair comment to make. I think 09 gave it a bit of criticism for it though, because he's under no pressure from any Accrington player. Hang on, let me just check it. I've got the highlights in front of us. Let's have a look.
Oh yeah, we'll just wait while you just
that's fine.
Through that.
Yeah, so the ball's good. Right. As he's heading the ball, he's not marked by anybody. Whoever number 18 is for, number 11 is for Accrington. He's nearest to Bailey Wright. No one's, and I think it's Dion Charles is near enough where Denver Hume is. There's absolutely nobody around 09. And if he could, I don't know if he could see Lee Birch coming out or if he's concentrating on the ball that's coming towards him. But even then, he could just boot it upfield. He could control it, or he could head it out for a throw-in or clear for a throw-in or something. I think that was a need but that's my own opinion. I do get the criticism. I think Lee Birch was wrong-footed. Wasn't wrong-footed. That's not the right word. He did come out for it a bit rash. So it's just a miscommunication. But for me, I think. I mean, it's easy for me to say this, given that 09 did head it back towards keeper, and it basically was an own goal. I just think 09 didn't need to. If Lee Birch had communicated to 09 that he was coming out, then it's 09's fault. But I will concede that if he didn't communicate it, then I can understand people saying it's Birch's fault. But for me, 09 probably should have just cleared it upfield or something.
Right, okay. Terry, Luke 09, Lee Birch, who was to blame for it?
A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that Lee Burge always stays on his line. So Luke O'Nien probably thought he would stay on his line and head the ball back. But to be fair, in hindsight, which is a marvellous thing, he's not really a centre back. Luke O'Nien. He's done a decent job all season. He's going to make mistakes. Lee Burge should have shouted if he was rushing off his line. Should have definitely shouted. Whether he did or not, I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? As a defender, you'd probably want to clear it rather than head it back to the keeper. But if there was no communication and Luke O'Nien felt under no pressure from a defender, he thought it was a simple header back. It's just one of those things that will probably never, ever happen again.
Right, fair enough. Acacia Cameron Jude says that own goal from Luke O'Nien was absolutely shocking. I don't get how Lee Burge couldn't get that in time. Just before I go to you, Dino, quickly for me, and I love Luke O'Nien, and he's been brilliant, and he's played wherever he's been asked to play. But 100% at fault for me. I think he had time, and he's just.
Yeah, I agree.
He's miles away. He's headed it miles away from Burge. So Burge did his best to try and get back and keep it out, but he wasn't under pressure, and he had time to see where he was. Do you agree or what?
What was the question? Because you done that thing where you ramble. You do that thing where you ramble and then say, what do you think? Right. Well, we were talking about who was at fault then, Luke O'Nien or Lee Burge? Well, it's kind of both. I mean, people say you don't know if they communicated. I've been in positions before where the keeper says keeper's ball, but I'll still clear it because I don't believe the keeper will get it. So, what, Terry? Yes, you're having a good wave there. What's up, Terry?
Yeah. Do you know the five-a-side football match of the week when you headed in your own goal? Was that your fault?
Oh God!
Oh, that was Pierre Jordan's fault.
That's the keeper's fault, was it?
That was Pierre Jordan's fault.
Oh, so the keeper's fault. That wasn't your fault. It was kind of similar situation, wasn't it?
Right, but anyway,
go on, Terry.
But anyway, I'm not being funny. We got done by a Route 1 ball. I mean, how does that happen? It came from the keeper. So them have cleared it from the keeper because it was a free kick for offside, I believe. It came Route 1. I'm not being funny. A defender should be under that and clearing it towards back of their half. But the fact that we got caught out by a Route 1 ball and Luke O'Nien's headed it back to keeper, bearing in mind he doesn't know where Lee Burge is. He's got his eyes on the ball, so he doesn't know where he is. But he's thought, I'll head it back to keeper.
Essentially, we've just got undone by 2 free kicks when you think about it.
Basically. But when people are saying Lee Burge never comes off his line, I'm not being funny. I've seen Lee Burge come off his line many a times to clear the ball or come out and collect it. So people just like to put a load of crap on Lee Burge because they just don't like the bloke. It's as simple as that. And I mean, Luke O'Nien should know better, but Lee Burge, I mean, does he think Luke O'Nien's not going to make it, so he's coming out just to cover it, just in case he doesn't make it? It's a catastrophic of errors, to be fair. I mean, the back line should be a bit deeper, being prepared for the long ball. We got caught out by a long ball, and Luke O'Nien was stretching. As soon as he looked up, he went, I'm not going to make this. So he's stretching for the ball with his head, and he's just knocked it back to Burge and caught Burge out because Burge thinks he's going to miss it. So it's kind of both, in a way.
Right, okay. I'm just trying to work out how this works on the chat because I'm a bit confused because Nancy says we should just stick with 4-4-3. Does that not give us 12 men then? Unless he's meaning
let's not have a goalkeeper and we'll just have the one extra player like they do in hockey.
Oh, running goalies.
Right. Rush goalies.
Right, fair dues. Right, well, 6 games without a win now, and
that's terrible.
It's embarrassing.
David Spencer says it's all, well, in his words, all went downhill from the trophy win. So Streaky, as his nickname was apparently, because he has these, a winning streak, a losing streak, and what have you. 6 without a win. Have we not just been unlucky, or is it just that we're rubbish, or is it the fact the amount of injuries have just taking the toll. I mean, because a lot of these, we was unlucky at Hull. We was in the woodwork and stuff like that. I think we should have won at Hull. Yesterday, you can argue, you're 2-0 up in 11 minutes. You should go on to win that game. But again, own goals and what have you. Start with you, Terry. What's going on? Is it the fact all the injuries and chopping and changing, or are we just being unlucky?
What do you mean unlucky? We've been lucky a lot of the season as well. However, let's face it, against Tranmere in the final. Tranmere were the better side. We had one really great opportunity and we scored. So Tranmere can find themselves as unlucky in the final. For me, they were the better side. Ever since the Portsmouth match, I don't think we've played really well until the Hull match. So lucky, you make your own luck in life. A lot of times you make your own luck. Lee Johnson should make his own luck. The team should make their own luck. Now, ever since Kirill Dreyfus has come out and said the £60 million in the coffers for next season, as some of the players now thought, shit, they're going to buy a whole load of new players. Why do we want to get promoted to the championship, then get sacked and get kicked out of the club where we're getting decent wages at? Is that in the back of some of the players' minds? Or is that just people finding excuses for losing games? Streaky? For me, it's a load of bollocks. You make your own luck. Lee Johnson's he's probably rode his luck for a few games. Now his luck's gone out. You make your own luck. He's changed the team around. We got what we deserved yesterday. Simple as. For the players weren't good enough on the day. And Lee Johnson, for me, changed a side that didn't need to be changed.
So you're 100% blaming Lee Johnson for yesterday's draw. Is that what you're saying?
50-50. Actually, I'm going to blame Lee Johnson for changing the formation. I'm going to blame the team as well for doing what they did. If the team's under orders to leave everybody just bomb forward and leave two players in defence for the whole of the game, if that's under orders, then it's Lee Johnson's fault. If the players are just taking upon themselves to leave the back door open constantly, then it's the players' fault. The players did bottle it yesterday, so it's part of their fault as well. For me, the whole regime, right, apart from the owner, takes the blame for yesterday. The players and the manager take equal responsibility. All of them to blame yesterday. They're all the blame for the streak they're going into now. If we don't make the playoffs, if for whatever reason we do not win another game and we do not make the playoffs, because it's a possibility now, Blackpool got a game in hand. We could easily lose to Blackpool on Tuesday night if he plays a 4-2-2 again, and then Blackpool will win the game in hand. They'll jump above us. Lincoln win the game in hand. They'll jump above us. It's possible, right? Nothing is impossible. This is a possible scenario. It's the worst case scenario. If we do not make the playoffs this season, there's not one person in that team for me is job safe next season.
There is no way in the world we will not make the playoffs. Right, one win will do that. So
where's it coming from? Where's the one goddamn win coming from?
Oh, behave yourself.
Where's the win come from the last 6 games? There's only 3 games to go. 3 games to go. We haven't won in 6.
Listen, man, we was unlucky against Blackpool. I mean, Blackpool were looking to win that. That was a mistake by the goalie. There's no way we won't make the playoffs. So if we don't make the playoffs, are you basically saying that Lee Johnson's got to go then?
If we don't make the playoffs, for me, the owner is to take a long, hard look, probably bring in a new manager and bring in a whole new set of players. Get rid of this old regime at all, right? If Lee Johnson makes the playoffs, then he deserves a season next season with his own players in. But if he throws this away this season, from the position we were in, absolute guaranteed playoff position, and almost in the top 2, this has been a disastrous run. We've thrown it away completely. Then no one's job safe for next season. Nobody.
There's no way. It's not even Lee Johnson's team, man. Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson.
So Lee Johnson, get this team on a run of 12 unbeaten. And get this team playing football like that, winning those games. But now, all of a sudden, you can't get them to win a game of football. It's, you take your responsibility, right? You take a job. If you don't perform in that job, it's your responsibility. For me, if he makes the playoffs, he's done his job. He's getting us to the playoffs. So if he throws this away,
All right, so basically we're back to square one again, and here we go, sacking managers. And
no, we're not back to square one because we got rid of that fucking idiot Stuart Donald. Donald's gone. Metford's gone.
No.
We got a new owner in, who will spend the money next season bringing his own people.
You cannot get rid of Lee Johnson. It's not even his team. It's not his fault. He's doing
if we don't make the playoffs, if he doesn't make the playoffs, right? No, I don't give a shit, right? It's my opinion. If he doesn't make the playoffs, he has to go. No. And that's my opinion.
Well, Terry, when you were the one who says this, this team wasn't good enough to get promotion regardless anyway. So, if anything, is he not overachieving with what he's actually done so far? Because me and you agreed that this team wasn't good enough. It was a bang average team. So, is he not overachieving? And now it's just starting to show that we were overachieving and now we're starting to go back to the way we were before.
You can't throw it away. The position we were in, at that moment in time, in third place, really close to the top two. You cannot let that be thrown away by losing nearly every single game to the end of the season, bottling all of the games, letting the team morale go the way it is. If the team are not playing for the manager, why is he flaming picking the team?
It happened to Peterborough last season. Them bottled it. Peterborough was known of the bottlers. They done it the first season. While he had the second season, of course you can bottle it. We done it when we had the first season. We had 2 games in hand, or how many games in hand, and we bottled it. You can bottle it. We've done it, but we've done it in the first season.
And someone has to take the responsibility for it.
No, but basically, right, so we've got a team of crap players. We get a manager in and we say, right, you've got to get us promoted with these crap players, what we've given you, right? And if you don't, then it's your fault. You know, he's not a chance to get his own team together.
They're a bunch of crap players. They're an average set of players in an average league. It takes a manager to get these players working well together. These players are there who almost, got promoted, the last couple of seasons have been really close. And he's brought in some of his own players anyway. Winchester's is his man. Vaughan's is his man. Where the hell's Vaughan's gone?
I can't even believe that you're thinking we won't even make the playoffs.
I'm just saying, you asked the question. You asked the goddamn question. If Lee Johnson makes the playoffs, which hopefully 100% we will, then he gets next season to build his team.
Right. Okay. Michael, you want in? He's afraid to come in. Go on, Michael.
I was so entertaining that. Right, okay. There's a few points I want to bring up. First of all, this games in hand thing. I'm getting quite tired of this. Right, when Sunderland have a game in hand, the argument never is, right, okay, that's 3 points. No, we've got to win them. So let's use that same argument when everyone else has a game in hand, yeah? Blackpool have got to win the games in hand. Charlton have got to win the games in hand. Lincoln have got to win the games in hand. I will point out, by the way, that the game in hand that Lincoln have on Sunderland is against Charlton. I just want to point that out. First of all, one of them is going to drop points straight away, if not both of them. I've got the table up in front of us, so I'll quickly tell you where everyone's at. So realistically, I'm going to go from Charlton up to us. Charlton are on 66 points, 42 games played. Portsmouth played 43 games, 68 points. Blackpool, 42 games played, 68 points. We'll see where we are after Tuesday night with that one. Oxford, 44 games played, 68 points. So let's take Oxford as a prime example, a team that's in the playoffs. We only need 1 more point to finish above Oxford. So that'll be 1 team out of it straight away. Portsmouth, the most they can get is 77 points if they win their last 3 games. So that means we need... Well, yeah, we've got a better goal there, so we need 4. So if we get a win or even 4 points, we've done it. Now, yes, we've had a poor run of form, and I do agree with Terry to the point that from the position we were in, we should not have fell away like we have. It's absolutely inexcusable. However, I want to point, but these last few games alone are not the sole reason we haven't finished in the top 2. I refer back consistently. Drawn away at Hull, drawn away at Peterborough. I saw some narrative that, you still think the Peterborough result was a good result? Bore off. Yes, at the time it was. Anyway, the other results that have cost us, losing twice to Wigan, not beating MK Dons, drawn away at Rochdale, drawn to Bristol Rovers, losing to Plymouth, losing to Shrewsbury, drawn at home to Burton Albion as well, drawn away at Northampton. Those are the games that cost Sunderland top 2. The games against sides around you at that point then become must-not-lose games. And in some cases, you can even afford to get beat because this is the sort of league where teams will drop points. And unfortunately, that does include us. But it doesn't mean we've got to be happy about it when it happens. So the fact of the matter is, we have thrown automatic promotion away. I don't for one second think Lee Johnson should go, but I do think some serious questions, and I mean serious questions, have got to be asked of him and the side if we do not make the playoffs from this position. We should make the playoffs from this position. Weirder things have happened, but we've got to remember that not every single team around us is going to win every game either.
Right, okay. Terry, you want him back in there?
Yeah, I really do want the lad to succeed. I want Lee Johnson to succeed. I think I did say the other day that I think 100% certain we're going to make the playoffs. I just now having doubts in the back of my mind. It's after yesterday's game, you just get passions are running high.
Right, just very quickly then. Nigel Dunn, friend of the show, on the chat says, Phil, I'd take that bet. SAFC Division 1 next season. What I said was there's no way we won't not make the playoffs. We'll make the playoffs. Whether we're going to win the playoffs is a whole other thing. John Bradley says Vulcans apparently has got a bad heart. So I don't know how true that is.
Isn't he on loan though? If he's on loan, can we not just send him back?
I don't know about sending him back. I think they can be recalled, possibly. But I don't think it's down to us. I'm not sure on that.
You could agree to end the loan by mutual consent, possibly.
Yeah. Casual Observer says bring him Wilder. Good manager, I suppose. Right, I'll tell you what then. Just very quickly before I move on to the next one. What about a man of the match for yesterday? Was there anybody? Could you actually pick anybody out as a man of the match?
You're not going to ask me the question about that, by the way. You're not going to ask me about the playoffs. You never asked me.
What wasn't your opinion? Right, I don't know. I didn't know I'd asked a playoff question, but go on. Do you think we're going to make the playoffs?
Well, I'd like to think we would, but as Terry said, like he's going on about sacking the manager. Let's not forget when he came in, Lee Johnson. We're outside the playoffs. Yeah, by it might have been a couple of points, but we were on a bad run of form. The players just weren't performing, and to be fair, the players haven't really performed all season. It's only been the odd performance where, like Hull, we played very well. There's only been the odd few games where we've actually played very well. What we've been doing is nicking wins, and like people are saying streaky Johnson. I mean, didn't Phil Parkinson have the same streak where he went so many unbeaten, then got beaten, like we didn't win a game for about 2 months or something like that? I mean, so let's not just say it's just a Lee Johnson thing. This happens with most managers. It happens with a lot of managers. It happens with Premier League managers. So let's stop like saying, oh, it's all Lee Johnson's fault, blah blah blah, because it's not.
Nobody is. I'm saying I'm not just talking about you, Terry. I'm talking about people in the comments as well. People are saying it on the comments on other YouTube channels and all this. Oh, Streaky Johnson. No, the players are to blame. You picked the team. The players got before. We took a 2-0 lead and we blew it. We're doing the same against Hull. We took the lead twice and blew it. So like it's the players on the pitch at the end of the day who blow them leads. You can only do so much as a manager. And at the end of the day, me and you said, Terry, the players aren't good enough. There's a lot of people say the players aren't good enough. So for me, Johnson's made them overperform for a while. And now we're just coming back to the way we were playing beforehand. I think we've overperformed for the last couple of months. And now this streak is basically what we were like in the first place.
Right.
I think we've been poor for a long time. Even when we're winning games, we were poor. And they were poor even under Parkinson. Like I say, it's a poor. The majority of the team is poor.
Right. Well, Alan Robinson on the chat says only Terry talking any sense. Marley Gibson says we cannot.
Oh, here we go with that again.
We cannot just keep sacking managers. My mate Steve Coniston, who's great on our five-side team, made the comment yesterday that if Sunderland fans were managers. Right, we'd have a different manager every week because they just want them sacked just like that. And it's ridiculous. Right, what we'll do is just very quickly, just to try and see if there's any positive from yesterday. A man of the match for our team. Just quickly chug it out there, and then we'll go on the next subject. Dino,
Scowen all day for me. Scowen was class.
Michael.
Agreed with Dino Scowen.
Well, I'm going to go for Scowen as well because I thought he was. He was
Look at Terry's face.
No, well, the thing is, we said, did we not say afterwards? Afterwards, watch the stream. He actually had a good game, and he's not been very good, but he's. But yesterday, I'd give him man of the match. But I'm assuming the way Terry's making them faces, he either got wind or he just doesn't agree with that. Do you not think Scowen had a decent game yesterday?
One of the reasons why we lost, one of the reasons why we were that bad yesterday, letting 3 goals is because our midfields make us piss, and we need 3 in midfield. We need 3 in midfield. I've been screaming it for yonks. 2 is not good enough. You may as well put Dino and Wee Philly in midfield. Then have right, man of the match yesterday. Man of the match, right? I'm going to give man of the match to Denver Hume because it's nice to see him back on the pitch and fit.
Oh, right, just because he's back on the pitch, about his performance, just because he's just on the pitch.
Yes, because the rest of them, why I suppose if Charlie White gets 2 goals, he probably deserves to be man of the match as well, doesn't he?
No, not really, because I remember before when he scored 4 goals and he didn't give him man of the match.
I don't want to give anybody man of the match. I don't.
All right, then. Fair enough.
Can I just ask?
Get your ball and take it home now. All right.
Can I just ask? How can you say we lost because of the midfield? Nothing came through the midfield. The 2 goals them scored was an own goal, which was route 1, which bypassed the midfield, and a free kick on the edge of the box that was given by McGeady, who's a forward player. So
you're missing the point.
You're
missing the point, Dean. I've been saying it for months. You must listen to what I say. Do you know what it is, right? When you've got 2 centre backs, one that's not a centre back, one that's really, really slow. You need that extra midfielder to get back.
The team keep clean sheets consistently for the good part of a month, I might add.
It does a good job when Sanderson's alongside him because Sanderson has the pace to recover and help. I'm not saying Logo 9's a bad player doing a bad job. I'm just saying when you got somebody who can't help him out, somebody with no pace like Bailey Wright can't help out the Logo 9 who isn't a centre back. He's a centre back this season. That's when you need the extra midfielder. Like someone Grandad with a wise head on his shoulders to get back in the penalty box and help out. He's been doing it every single time he starts a game of football. He gets in that centre-back position, he comes back, he helps out, and he gets the ball forward to the other 2 midfielders who can then take the play forward. When you've only got 2, you've got nobody, absolutely nobody helping the centre defenders.
Right, yeah, but Terry, we didn't lose that game. We didn't lose that game because we didn't have the extra man in midfield. We lost we didn't even lose the game. We drew the game. Sorry, my mistake. But the reason we conceded them 2 goals wasn't because of the midfield or the extra man. It was because of stupid mistakes like 09's own goal and McGeady giving away a daft free kick. And let's be fair, McConville's probably never hit a free kick like that in his life. But
that's his first goal of the season, by the way.
If you're playing Ledbetter from the start of the game, have an organised team in midfield as well as defence, that game wouldn't have been 3-3. Simple as. Yeah. I'm telling you now, it wouldn't have been.
Right. But guess what? We might have scored 2 goals in the first couple of minutes.
Ledbetter came on the pitch when we were winning the game. So
doesn't matter. By then, Ackerman and Stanley.
2 goals.
By then, Ackerman and Stanley were going forward, had the bit by the teeth. Ledbetter comes into a game when everybody's all over the place and he's not up to the pace of the play. You've got to stop that from the beginning. If we play a 4-2-2-2 all season, we never get promoted.
The point is, no. The point is, we were still 2-0 up at half-time. We went 3-2 up after... Hang on, Phil. We went 3-2 up after conceding 2 goals. There was absolutely no excuse to drop 2 points from that. If we'd done our jobs properly second half, we wouldn't be talking about a draw. We'd be talking about the win. It's got nothing to do with the midfield. We went 2-0 up. If that was not good enough, we wouldn't have gone 2-0 up in the first place.
Well, you play 4-3-3 next match to see a different game.
Right, just very quickly, because people are starting to talk over each other. So
yeah, well, one way players bother to do their jobs defensively.
Like that. Just wave your finger if you want in, all right, and we'll get you in. Then people are not talking over each other. Right, just very quickly before we move on. 203 people watching the stream. Thank you for that. We got 64 likes. We'd like to hit 100. Just hit the thumbs up. It'll take you a second to do that. And don't forget, we're on our way to 6,000 subscribers. So if you're watching and you're not already a subscriber, it's absolutely free. all you have to do, just hit the subscribe button, and you won't miss any of our future productions. Right, this is going to shock you a little bit because I've gone on about how we're going to make top 2 and stuff like that. Right, we will not make the top 2. Right, there you go. There you go. Well, it's still mathematically possible, but I'm telling you, we will not make top 2. However, we will make the playoffs. And the thing is I've found a solution, right, for when we enter the playoffs, and this is it. Because we've now got to start to prepare for the playoffs. So Lee Johnson has to think like that. Yes, we've got to get another 3 points just to secure it. But this is what we do, right? We recall Will Grigg back from MK Dons, because he's now, right, 4 goals. He's always at it in his locker, always, right? He bangs 4 in, he's banging them in for fun now with MK Dons. So he's back on form doing that. We recall him, we get him in there, playoffs.
Michael's not having it.
He's not having it. Well, maybe it was a bit of a wind up, but it's there, isn't it, Dino?
No, don't be that. He cannot do it at Sunderland, man. It's too much. Why do you think he's scoring now? Because he's at MK Dons they've got no ambitions to go up. They're just there to play the games and maybe survive. So he's got less pressure on his shoulders. He's at a club he's been to before, and he probably likes it down there. So yeah, he's scoring the goals, but you bring him back up here, pressure will be back on, and we give him the chances to score Philly, and he couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. He missed from a yard out. The bloke is dog shit. He can't play for Sunderland. He's not up to the task. I mean, I still don't think Charlie White's a great player, but yeah, he's scoring goals, and I've got more confidence in Charlie White scoring goals than Will Grigg, and Will Grigg's a picking international, and Charlie White isn't. So no, get rid of the bloke. The bloke is not good enough for Sunderland. It's as simple as that. I wouldn't dare recall him. I'd rather play Benji.
Terry, it's an option.
Yeah,
isn't
where is it? Where the hell is Benji?
He's
true.
Well, he's injured.
Well, right. Well, I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what. On a serious note, we're desperate, right, for an attacking midfielder, right? Somebody who can create something. Right now, apparently, the rumours are that Josh Hawkes in the under-23 team, I think he scored 11 goals in 16 games or something like that. I think he's got for them. He's absolutely on fire. Young kid, attacking midfielder. You know, we're desperate for somebody like that. Would you take a chance on? Yes, you know, he's going to be inexperienced. He's a young kid. Would you take a chance on chucking him in, right, and trying him out now as we're going for the playoffs? And, you know, he could change the whole game for us. Terry?
Never going to happen. It's never going to happen. In a month of Sundays, Lee Johnson's never going to play a kid in this side at this stage of the season. You know, you if that was the case, you'd rather bring in Younger in defence, put Luke O'Nien in the centre of midfield.
Yeah, you finished.
Was that a question? Was that a question?
Well, no.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that before Hawks comes in, for me, you got to make the defence better. You can like yesterday, like Michael says, you can score 3 goals. We shouldn't be losing the game or drawing the game when you score 3 goals. But Hawks is going to create more chances to score. It's the defence that's the problem.
But the thing is right. I know what you're saying. You're saying, you know, Lee Johnson will never do it, right? But this kid's on fire at the moment, right? He comes in, he's going to bust a gut, right, to play for the team because he wants in there, right? He's on form, you know. Would you personally like take a chance on him?
At this moment in time, no.
Right, okay. I think what are you drinking tonight, Terry?
Just water from Grigg's.
Well, listen, Terry, you need to get back on the beer, right?
Do you know what I would do, though? I would integrate him into the side next season, no problem whatsoever, from the beginning of the season on the substitute bench, and bring him into this next season. Definitely get rid of some of these deadwood, play some of the kids next season.
Right, it's okay. But are the kids going to cut it in the championship, though?
Well, hopefully, yeah.
Right. We'll go to Michael, who's either just been for a wee or his internet was dodgy again. I don't know if you heard the question, Michael, but I was saying about Josh Hawkes and the under-23s. He's on fire at the moment. We're desperate for an attacking midfielder. Somebody who can create something. I think it's 11 goals in 16 games he scored. He's absolutely on fire. Would we take a chance? Would you take a chance and chuck him in and give us something?
I agree with Terry. I agree with Terry that I don't think that it's ever going to happen. Would I personally do it? If you've got put it this way, going into the playoffs, the only acceptable outcome is winning them. Otherwise, the season's yet another failure. So, if that's the case, why not? The one thing you could argue for that is that if you maybe bring him off the bench, opposition teams aren't going to know what to expect from him, and he might. And for a couple of games, it could work. So I would have him maybe in the squad. I don't know when the under-23 season finishes, but if it finishes by then and we'll need other options, which, with the amount of injuries we've got, wouldn't shock us, then why not? I wouldn't start him, personally, but I wouldn't be against having him in the squad.
But it's for me, I think you hit the nail on the head saying, other teams wouldn't have a clue who he was and we might at the start so I'll get away with it. I suppose in a way, like we brought Mickey Bridges in. I know might probably be before your time and what have you, but that was a similar situation. That was sort of the back end of the season. He came in and he was banging them in, whether that was because it was an unknown quantity and then he came. And we've been screaming out for an attacking midfielder, and the fact that he's bang on for kid the goat. Say, I think it's a great shout, but that's
so only me. What's the difference between Younger and Hawks? Like, what's the difference? Why can't we just discuss Younger? I bet he's playing really well in under 23s. He's not going to score loads of goals because he's a defender. I bet he's defending really well. So why isn't he getting a start?
Well, but because I think we need an attacking midfield is what we
need a defender as well.
Right, Dino.
We scored 3 goals yesterday. How many goals do we have to score before we win a game of football? And attacking midfielder, let's score 6. Exactly. That tells you where the problem is, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're not scoring enough goals.
Scored 5 in the last 2. We didn't even win either game. There you go.
Crazy, honest to God.
Dino, what do you think about Josh Hawkes? I mean, he's kid's on fire, man.
The kid's on fire in under 23 football, man. It's a totally different level to picking what we play in. Like under 23s in League One's totally different. I mean, man. I remember when Danny Graham scored 1 goal in the AFL and was like, "Oh, look, he's back on form." It was like, I was against kids. Come on, man. Let's get real, man.
I don't think
players. Go on, Phil. Go on. What are you going to say?
I don't think he's a young kid, though. I think he's 21, 22 or something. I'm almost certain.
Danny Graham? No, he's like 37.
Michael, let me just get rid of Michael again if he's going to be daft. Right. Go on, you can come back. Sorry, Dino, go on.
21, 22, and he struggles to get in the first team. I mean, we've got the same thing with Embleton. We had the same thing with Robson, where these players are too good for under 23 football, but not good enough for League One. And this is probably going to be another case. And you could chuck him in, but Daniel hasn't even had a shout, and he's supposed to be a really good player. So what hell chance has Josh Hawkes got? I mean, you can bang them in for the under 23s all he wants, but I mean, he did have his chance against Fleetwood, I believe. Did he not play against Fleetwood in the AFL? And he didn't really do much against the Fleetwood team, which did have some first-team players in. It's just another case of someone who's too good for under 23s, but not good enough for the first team. And we've had a lot of them in the past.
But has it not been a problem with Sunderland, though, that these kids are not getting a chance? I mean, there's Terry on about Younger. And Terry's blown Dan Neal's trumpet for for long enough. And go on, Terry.
Yeah, but I'm at the point now, being worn down. I can see the manager's not going to play the kids, so we're talking about irrelevant points. But if Lee Johnson wasn't happy yesterday about this, that, and the other, why doesn't he make a statement and play some of the youngsters in?
Right, Thane on the chat jumps in there, says Johnson was known for giving youngsters a chance at Bristol City, but he's only given Diamond a chance. Why? So, I mean,
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Tino, I asked why. You tell us why.
I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you why because the youngsters aren't good enough. You'll be able to see if they're good enough or not, and clearly Johnson doesn't think they're good enough, so they're just sticking the under-23s until the contract runs down, or they'll get taken elsewhere. I mean, look at Mitchell Curry. Apparently, he was on form, and we got rid of him to America. So it's good enough saying, "Oh, give the youngsters a chance." But if the youngsters aren't good enough, why give them a chance? Because you know they're not good enough. Youngsters have got to either be an improvement on your team, or they're just as good as some of the players, and clearly they're not.
Right. Well, okay then. Fair enough. What we're going to do? How long we got left? 4 minutes. We'll have to have a look at the game coming up. Just very quickly, I've got 78 likes, 204 people on the stream watching. Please just hit the thumbs up. We'll see if we can get to 100 before the end. It'll take you a second. If you're watching on a mobile device, just close your live chat and you'll see the little thumb there, and just give it a hit there, and we'll knock that up as best we can. Apparently, somebody saw us at Tesco today next to the stadium. Did you? I don't think you did. I'm not sure. Right then, Sunderland versus Blackpool. Tuesday night, I reckon we're 3 points away from securing a playoff place. So when we beat Blackpool on Tuesday, Terry will come on. Or you're not on Thursday, but the next time Terry's on, I'll come on and say, Philly, I'm really sorry about that. I know I said we weren't going to you weren't going to make the playoffs, but how do you think we're going to do, Terry? Blackpool at home this time instead of away.
Well, Lee Johnson, if he changes the side back to 4-3-3, if he changes the side back to 4-3-3, mind you, we need to do that 4-3-3. Listen, Lee, 4-3-3, 2-2-2-2-2-2 doesn't work. Right. We need a centre back. Desperately back, so we get a little line to the midfield. But if it's the way it pans out, we know what Lee Johnson's going to play. The players he's going to play. They're the only players that he'll even consider playing that I like. So for me, you've got to go back to the 4-3-3, exactly the same side, almost, to he played well against Hull. Simple as. That's it. There you go.
Is that it? Is that your team? Is that your team you'd play?
That's my team, because I would pick different players if I knew they were available, like McLaughlin, but obviously I don't know if they fit. So the players I know are going to be there ready to play. Is that the team that I would play? Doesn't mean I like them all. I think that's the best combination and the best positions to win the match. Doesn't mean in a 3. Like I said before, if you play a 3, 1, 2, 3 together, they make each other much better. They complement each other. You take away one, the other two are mediocre.
Right. Terry, I thought you said you don't like Scowen, do you? You said you wouldn't even put a stream on if Scowen started, and now you put him in your first team. What's going on there?
He likes Scowen in a 3.
I've just explained that. Do I have to say it again? We haven't got time.
He likes him in a 3. He likes him in a 3, but not in a 2, is what he's saying.
I like him in a... Like Philly says, Philly likes a threesome. There you go, man. Sorry.
Hey, right then. And Terry, give us a prediction for the score.
If we play that system, we'll win 1-0. If we play any other system, we'll probably draw at best 1-1.
Karen's laughing at your threesome comment there, by the way, Terry. So 1-0. Terry
she's laughing
1-0.
for a reason, I wonder.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Let's not go there. Michael, what do you think to Tuesday then? Sunderland and Blackpool. Blackpool were lucky to win that game. down there. Mind, we wouldn't have won it, but so what do you think to Tuesday?
Well, yeah, I've said based on the game we played down there. Based on the game we played down there, I didn't think they looked anything great. Obviously, we hit the post right before they scored. Tuesday, at this point, just well, if we win, then we're probably more or less going to finish above Blackpool. You would think. I don't think it'll be a win though. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. And I don't know if I can be bothered with another game where we don't win. The last couple of games, we need to get at least 2 victories for me to go into the playoffs. But I could see them probably coming in the last 2. So, yeah, I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
Fair dues. 1-1 draw. Michael, you're a disgrace. What I want to do before we go to before I go to Dino, can we have a massive round of applause for the Taffy Mackham? All right. In fact, can I have a Michael Bowers? Thank you very much. There you go. He's donated £5 via the super chat, saying my fiver for membership to Bowers East fan club. There you go, Michael. Massive fan of you, Taffy Mackham. Thank you very much via the super chat. Of course, that is available. It is optional. And all the money what comes in does go to help us grow our channel. So very much appreciated. Thank you, Taffy Mackham, for that. Dino, Tuesday, Blackpool at home. What do you reckon?
I'm just going to go off form. I think we'll get beat. I do. I think we'll get beat. I think this is the game we'll get beat. And then who we got? Plymouth and Northampton after that. Is that right, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we'll get beat and then we'll win the next 2. I don't know why, but I just don't think we can beat Blackpool on current form. I just think our form's terrible at the minute, and like you say, we've still got a makeshift team. This isn't even our strongest team, man.
What's the score going to be, Dino?
Just a 1-0 Blackpool.
1-0 Blackpool. Well, I suppose on a plus note, bit of positivity. The Doominator seems to be back in the room. They're predicting Sunderland getting beat and what have you.
Who's that, Terry?
Right. Oh, Terry's gone beyond the Doominator. Double Doominator. For me, I'm happy to go for a 2-0 win. I don't think Blackpool are as I mean, they've had a good run and all that, but I think it's fading for them now, I reckon.
Philly, who's the better side, Accrington Stanley or Blackpool?
Blackpool.
There you go. Then.
Well, but you know, Accrington were lucky.
But what?
But they were lucky. It's a luck.
Right, okay.
That's what I'm saying. We've been unlucky on we should have won at home.
You make your own luck.
Right. We're gonna win. We're gonna win 2-0.
Terry, all I'll say to that is if you're going to say we make our own luck, then you have to apply that when we've got lucky as well. Other teams make their own luck against us.
Everybody makes their own luck the majority of the time.
Thanks, Michael. Just jump in whenever you want, Michael. You're all right. Right then. Well, that's it, lads. We're out of time. Well, you know, it's all about opinions, and we all respect each other's opinions. And it's good to hear them. You know, people will agree, people will disagree. Thanks for tuning in. When are we back? Well, we're actually back on Tuesday for the live stream, which will be it'll be Dino, Jack, and myself because Michael, you're at work, aren't you, for that? So make sure you tune in for the live stream. Sunderland versus Blackpool. Nice, easy win for us. And cement our place in the playoffs. It should be all right. That's it, lads. Pretty good. On behalf of myself, Philly, I want to say good night. The Mad Mistake, say bye. I'll just do that. There you go. Michael, give us a wave. Thank you very much. All right. And Dino, the Doominator, is back. Thanks a lot. Don't forget, by the way, we're four likes away from 100. So if 4 of you just hit the thumbs up, I will do that. And don't forget, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's free to subscribe. Let's get us up there. We're on our way to 6,000. Thanks very much. And we will see you on Tuesday.